over here.
Welcome back. If you've made it this far in the series, you've already done more than most Vietnam War students ever do. You've built a spatial data set of the war itself. In episode 5, we finished loading our data and created our first map. Today, in episode 6, we move from mapping to analysis. And this is where GIS really starts to change how we understand the Vietnam War. Instead of asking what happened, we're going to ask where did it happen, how often, and what patterns emerge when we line various data sets up in time and space. The first thing we need to do is remove the unneeded layers and make sure that all our data is talking about the same moment in time. Click the checkbox to remove the Greg, DEM, Hillshade, and ESRI layers for clarity. For this episode, we're going to analyze November 1967. And remember, once you learn the workflow, you can swap in any month, province for the data. Consistency is everything here. If one data set is from November and another from March, any conclusions we draw will be misleading. The first data set we'll analyze is the Viet Cong Initiated Incidents File, or VCIIF. This data set tracks attacks against friendly military from January of 1965 through December 1968, over 171,000 recorded incidents. These include ambushes, small arms attacks, attacks on helicopters, and any event logged as a troops in contact spot report. Because this data was recorded daily, our filter needs to be precise. Right-click on the VCIIF layer in the Layers panel and select Filter. In the Expression Builder, double-click Date, choose the greater than or equal to sign, click All to show all dates, and double-click 1967/11/01. Click and, double-click date again, then choose the less than or equal to sign and select 1967/11/30. That gives us the November 1967 filter. Now let's narrow to the geography. Click and, then double-click province. Choose equals and click all and double-click play coup or whichever province you prefer. Your full expression should read date greater than or equal to 1967 November 1st and date less than or equal to 1967/11/30 and province equals play coup. Click OK. What you've just done is isolate every recorded Viet Cong attack in Pleiku province during November of 1967. That's already some powerful historical data. You may notice that some events are outside of the province. This reflects the wartime nature of the data. Mistakes were made, but the data is overwhelmingly correct. Next up is the Terrorist Incident Reporting System data, which recorded terror against civilians, such as propaganda or assassinations. This data set also records events daily, but the date fields are structured differently, so we need to adjust our approach. Right-click on the layer and open filter. Now build this expression. YR equals 1967 and MO equals November and province equals Pleiku. Click OK. Now this data set is synced, same month, same province. The Hamlet Evaluation System 1967 is next. More on that data in the next episode, but for now, this is styled for security status from red to green. This one uses combined year and month code. Your filter expression should read yearmo equals 6711 and province equals Pleiku. Lastly, let's change the Southeast Asia Friendly Forces file we filtered for January last episode so that it'll match the others. Hit clear in the filter menu, then build the expression. Now all datasets, Viet Cong attacks, terrorist incidents, Hamlet evaluations, and friendly forces are aligned in time and space. This is the foundation of comparative historical analysis using GIS. Step 5 is creating a heat map for the Viet Cong activity to visualize density of attacks. Open Properties for the VCIF layer and go to the Symbology tab. By pulling down the menu, change the symbology type to heat map. By default, it's black, but that's not ideal for interpretation. Open the color ramp menu and scroll down to all, then find yellow, orange, red ramp. Once loaded, right-click on the color ramp to edit it. On the far left yellow value, set it to transparent and click Apply. What you're now seeing is point density. Red areas, higher concentrations of VC attacks, lighter areas, fewer incidents. At the provincial scale, patterns jump out immediately. But zoom out to the national level and notice something important. Heat maps analyze only the visible data. If you've filtered out all the other provinces, the map looks very different than if you include the entire country. Try this. Copy your filter expression, clear the filter, otherwise the points will not show up, and paste the expression back in without the province condition. Now you're looking at VC activity across all of South Vietnam in November 1967. Same data, same month, very different historical story. Why this matters? What you've just learned is not just a technical skill. Here you see the situation in Vietnam as we approach the Tet Offensive in 1968. You've learned how to control the historical time, compare multiple data sets, visualize intensity rather than just location, and see patterns that don't show up in the written sources. This is a month-by-month spatial analysis of the Vietnam War, and it's exactly how GIS helps historians move beyond narrative into evidence-based spatial interpretation. Later, we'll learn to animate this data. Now, go to your printing layout you made in episode 5 and print out this map. If needed, review that episode. In the next episode, we'll push further. We'll introduce more advanced filters, doing a deeper dive into the Hamlet evaluation system, add elevation contour lines, and start asking harder questions about control, security, and perception during the war. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be alerted. Also, send to anyone who may be interested. Until then, try changing the month and watch how the war shifts, one map at a time.